is the way. I am Steve.
Oh my God. What a bunch of pussies.
This is what I'm trained for.
We are Venom.
Alrighty, everybody. We are recording this episode, but welcome to Daredevil Born Again, episode 1 and 2, with our fellow comic book veteran as well, Ace Bricks, and we got REN as always.
Hey.
Welcome.
Let's do it.
All right. So, first of all, we kind of talked about but I think we should start with some non-spoilers first. You know, get people in here, and then we go to some spoilers at the end. So, where do y'all want to start our review? Well, episode 1, of course, but
Yeah.
Now let's start with episode 2 and be like Star Wars and count backwards.
Oh yeah, it definitely has to happen. I mean, come on now.
Well, I think first of all we should give our thought. What did you all think about Daredevil Born Again?
You want to
Before
do this one, Sky?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I know there's only 2 episodes, so it's kind of hard to say for sure, like if this show's going to be good. But so far, I think it's really good. It definitely was a love letter, like to the original Daredevil series on Netflix.
Mhm.
Like it felt like that show again, which is great because that was a great, fantastic show. So it's like this was nice, and maybe I'm just blinded by nostalgia because it felt like it, but it was like it was a love letter because they were paying tribute to that. And so I'm like, I think this is going to be a really great show when it's set and done.
Mm-hmm. I think this, honestly, out of because Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all the Defenders stuff, that was on Netflix. That wasn't really Disney. But in terms of the Disney Plus stuff, this is probably my favorite one so far already. It's just better than Loki. I liked Loki a lot still as well, but it's just like that and Daredevil are some of the best they've done, in my opinion, in terms of storytelling. Because other ones have been kind of, but yeah, I really enjoyed it so far. I think it's going to get better. Episode 3 is leaving for a lot of big stuff too, so yeah. Ace, what did you think?
So my relationship with Daredevil is a little bit complicated. I did not watch the original Daredevil show. I maybe watched like 2 episodes when I was like, whenever it first came out, but that was it because I was at a friend's house, so I didn't get to watch much.
Yeah.
But so my introduction to Daredevil was with No Way Home, and this followed up with Hawkeye and Echo and She-Hulk. And I thought it was actually really cool that they brought Charlie Cox back. I was really excited because I feel like when it came to the straight level of Marvel movies, like there wasn't a whole lot. And when the Kingpin came back and Daredevil, I was like, oh, sweet. We could get that classic team up that I've always been wanting to see with Daredevil and Spider-Man in the comics and in the old TV shows. Well, sadly, we're not going to get that, but that's okay. So before the show aired, I watched the first 11 episodes of Daredevil before going into this. So I'm freshly new to Daredevil. Me personally, I like it. This is definitely a love letter to the original Netflix Marvel shows. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, I actually want to follow up on Bounty Hunter Bricks' response about the Disney Plus stuff. Disney Plus and Marvel has sucked. Plain and simple. The only good shows that they've had is WandaVision, Loki. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was fun, but flopped at the very end, in my opinion. I think they did really terrible with that. You had What If, which flopped entirely. Mm-hmm. You had Moon Knight, which was good. I actually liked Moon Knight, and I liked Hawkeye. And She-Hulk was only good within the first episode until she said that one line that we will not repeat. And Daredevil. And then we had Agatha all along. We had Echo. Those were okay. Those weren't great or anything. So in my personal opinion, this is probably the not only is this, in my opinion, the best Disney Plus show that they've aired so far. I can't say much because there's only 2 episodes. This is probably one of my favorite shows. Daredevil and Daredevil Born Again, because it's a direct follow-up. It is essentially season 4. And this is probably one of my favorite shows of all time. This is easily in the top 5 for me.
Nice.
Yeah. And well, the thing is people are like, why is the Kingpin acting like this in Echo? I like how you don't even have to watch that show, but it explains enough about it to where you get the point, and now we're here. You don't have to reflect on that, because Echo, to a lot of people, like Ace said, was kind of bad, but we could say that, and it wasn't really the best show. So I'm glad they kind of just skipped over like She-Hulk and Echo for some of this, and kept it true to Daredevil and Fisk, and that's what you needed to do, and it's perfect. And with Bullseye as well. Oh my God, bro, what happens at the beginning of this show? We'll talk about later. It got me on the floor, bro.
Yeah, I was shocked about that scene.
But
we'll get into that, guys. We'll have this part like time-stamped for the non-spoilers. So if you haven't seen the show, you can watch this part, and then we'll get into
think
spoilers.
Bounty's gonna put timestamps in the video?
I mean, he could.
I'm kidding. No offense.
Oh, no.
Wow.
But
it's all about Daredevil, so it's sorry.
Oh yeah. Which, okay, I will say this. I don't know what it is. Probably it's the same people that worked on the original Netflix Daredevil show.
There's some of them
say
here.
The cinematography in this show is phenomenal.
Amazing.
It looks really good. Whoever shot this series loves film and knows every in and out of it. I like what they do with this hearing and the sound effects that you can hear everything. Yeah. That was really cool. I liked that. And I don't know why we haven't had a really good looking Marvel show like this. And I think that's also one of the reasons why I'm giving so much praise to the show right now, is because this is something that no other Disney Plus show has really done. They shot in New York, an actual city, and it looks crisp. It looks clean. Besides some little wonky CGI, you can tell there's some green screen and blue screen effects, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, the upside down shots are cool too, because that's kind of like Marvel's signature. Like every movie, every show has an upside down scene where it like pans up or like from the bottom up, if that makes sense. Like flips over, and it's just cool looking. I always enjoy that.
The cinematography, especially the cinematography. But one more thing, the lighting describes how these characters are feeling too. Daredevil did not have to say a word at the end of episode 1, and you knew what he was feeling in that light, the red light, when he was looking up to the sky when he learned that Fisk won for mayor. That's one of the things. I'm sorry, but it's just like the way he looked and that the red light was on him. Like he's like, like half of him was red. Like the sides are fighting. Matt and Daredevil are fighting right there. It's like, what should we do? Basically, the inner conflict is so good with this show, and how they do it. The direction portrays the characters too. A character doesn't have to say anything, and you know what they're dealing with. So I love that. I loved it. It was perfect.
I never actually really thought about that. I knew lighting and cinematography, like without a character, because obviously we have freaking Kong over here, which we know exactly what he's thinking about with the expression on his faces. But how they use the lighting, it definitely does tell a lot of the story with Matt Murdock and his character, because obviously Buddy's been he's conflicted. And one of the things I am curious about this show, because a part of me does wish that they did mention Echo and She-Hulk, because when the show picks up, he's in retirement, supposedly. But then when they do the whole time skip, he's still in retirement even after that. So a part of me is kind of confused on where She-Hulk and Echo connect to this Daredevil.
Wouldn't it be before?
It would be before, but they keep mentioning that he was in retirement, so I'm kind of confused
Well,
where exactly the timeline takes
I
place. with this.
assumed that like She-Hulk and Echo and stuff was before episode 1 started.
Yeah, that could be the case.
yeah, and some points to me thinks that She-Hulk's not even fully canon because of how
Get rid of that garbage.
No, just because of how she changed everything. Like it was kind of a fourth wall break, just stupid thing. It didn't really matter to anything, as we
Yeah,
saw
the
with
mustard yellow.
yeah. But
Yeah.
but the thing is I think that it was smart that they just focus on now but at the beginning of the show, like the first a few minutes, he is still Daredevil, but he might not be like he only is doing it with something is really going down, or he knows something's like happening, like he did in the original. Like he changed from Matt to Daredevil immediately, but but after what happens at the beginning of the show, that's when he retires Daredevil fully. Like he's fully done. There's no more because he feels like he caused all this because Bullseye was hunting him down. He felt he caused the death of those people at the beginning, and especially one big one. But yeah.
I'm still kind of new to the character, so maybe that plays a part in the actual Netflix show later on. I'm not 100% sure.
It does.
But okay. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. I was like, wait, they mentioned that one of the characters is in another state, but he's like, oh yeah, that's a beautiful. Like he never says like it's a beautiful city or whatever. Obviously, we do know about the surgery that happened with Kingpin because he got his eyes shot by Echo.
Yeah.
So that definitely does play a part into it. So it takes place all behind. It would be kind of nice just to have that little mention and nods because they do mention Skrulls and they do mention Spider-Man in this show without actually saying Spider-Man. Just like the original Daredevil show did with Captain America, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Yeah, they mentioned the Shatari attack.
Yeah,
they
Avengers movie.
Because it takes place in the same universe even then. So they mentioned the New York attack in 2012 from, of course, the Avengers and the first one, the first season of Daredevil original show. But I think that the main thing here is like Bullseye Ace for you. Like he was really big in season 3. That's when he became like one of the big antagonists in Daredevil show, and he blames because basically he blames Daredevil for things that happened to him, and that's why he feels like it was his responsibility. But that's why Matt was like, Daredevil caused this. Because he was mad at me, mad at Daredevil. I
don't remember this. I love the first 3 seasons of the Netflix version, which is now technically on Disney Plus. But I'm like, I don't remember the show though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they set up why Bullseye's mad because Daredevil beats Bullseye in season 3. He felt, and he's because he's like an assassin. He wants to get every hit. He feels like Daredevil's like the one that got away. So he's going to try and get all the people close to him and kill him too. That's basically it.
Right.
But I feel with Fisk, he's still evil, man. But bro, that man is still evil. There is no way. He's like, Vanessa, I need to make my business more legitimate. But let's blackmail the police commissioner in episode 2.
Dang, that was a cool way to blackmail.
Because
for sure. Honestly, I gotta say, compared to Kingpin from the Daredevil show and this, not gonna lie, it's the same character, same stories and everything, but they're so completely different now. Especially where Kingpin has been, because like obviously he lost against Hawkeye and Yelena Belova. Well, both Hawkeyes and Yelena, because she dipped out on him and didn't kill Hawkeye. And then she lost against Echo. He's lost against freaking Daredevil more than once. I know that.
Yeah.
And so and not only that, bro got his eyes shot out. So I mean, Buddy's been through a lot of therapy for sure. But I like the way that they're playing Kingpin in this show. I think it's really unique and completely different. It does seem like we're getting that side of Kingpin where, I am being nice to you. I'm genuinely being real and nice with you. But
yes,
if you do cross this line, you are definitely going to regret it. And you better pray and hope to God it does not happen. And I love that. I love that with Kingpin because I don't know why. I always saw Kingpin as like, oh, I'm the big bad guy. Exactly. But no, there's so much complex to this character, and I love it. And after seeing the first season of Daredevil and how his father treated him and how he treated his wife, honestly, I feel a little bad for the guy, to be honest. I think bro just needs an actual hug.
Yeah, he had a rough childhood and stuff.
Yeah, but I love what they're doing with Kingpin and Vanessa and that whole opening scene where Kingpin comes in, he's like, Vanessa, I need to talk to you. And she's
then everyone leaves.
You're here? Really? You took off for months. What happened?
Yeah, well, a lot happened. Got my eyes shot out, and then my mentee just hit my ass more than once, and now I'm back. So
yeah,
but,
yeah, I know we're definitely gonna get the Kingpin that we all know and love. Me personally, this has always still been the same Kingpin, no matter what anybody thought with Hawkeye and Echo. This is still the same Kingpin, and we're getting that old Kingpin back. You gotta do what Zack Snyder did with Superman. You gotta knock him down a couple pedestals in order to bring back the original guy. Which the opening theme is literally that. The opening credits to this show is literally that, and I love it.
Yeah, it's just, but I think the main thing with Kingpin too, that is one of the best things they've done, is now. This is the other thing I loved about it. Did you notice the things they did? I know Netflix did a lot, but they also did it in the first episode. When Daredevil and Matt are looking through the suits, they do the exact same motions to put on their suits, the exact same, ways they do things. When Matt turns on the TV and hears that Fisk is announcing for mayor, it's like that's the only light Matt has. That's the light. They're showing the connection, the similarity between these two, and how they're even though they hate each other, there's still a bond there. They kind of just beating each other up, basically. They like this brawl, and it's the only light that Matt has is I'm going to stop him. I'm going to get him. And it's just that's what Daredevil is, man. He hates the Kingpin, and he does everything in his power to beat him. And
are they frenemies?
They are frenemies.
They are the Batman and the Joker of the Marvel universe. For sure.
They are. It's so true. But
maybe
it's
Two-Face.
Yeah, maybe, but Penguin.
Yeah. But I think that's a good point to get the spoilers. Obviously, we know the whole mayor thing was dropped in the trailers. We knew Vanessa was going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now is a good time to get into spoiler territory.
Well, let's just start with the big thing here. The main catalyst of the show, everybody, is Foggy Nelson dies. He's done. Bullseye just shot that man. And and then Daredevil drops Bullseye off a building for doing that.
Oh, I loved that. He was just like,
yeah,
frick you. Just tossed him off the side of a 10-story building. Just plop.
Yeah. And then you see Karen, you see her look behind her and just see Bullseye just lying on the ground. And she's freaking out. It's what an opening to a show.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Those first 10 minutes are amazing.
That's bam, we're right in, everybody. And then you play the new Daredevil intro with the crack, all like the cracks in all of them, like the cracks are showing, and all of the statues
Yeah,
is
it shows
awesome.
like he's broken now, and like he doesn't
Yes,
trust. Like it's the same stuff in the original intro, but now white and black instead of red. And
yeah,
everything's like cracking and breaking and falling apart. And then at the end, it like rebuilds into him like as Daredevil. It's a really cool intro, and they still use the same music, but it's a little different.
Yeah,
yeah.
they edited just a little bit, but that's freaking awesome.
No,
I
but
this is
yeah,
amazing.
but also how it's like distorted, like also the mental breaking, the distortion. Like you're like,
Yeah,
it's like
so
this.
good.
All
It's the
these characters.
definition of show don't tell.
Yes,
Exactly, and a lot of people don't understand how to do the show not tell thing.
Mhm.
all
Enjoy that.
these characters are literally breaking inside. Kingpin, he's kind of having a breaking point. Daredevil, like all, it's a breaking point for these characters,
Oh
and I
yeah,
love it. I love it. It's and also the symbolism of the show, Born Again, and Daredevil becomes born again in the intro after the cracks. It's kind of cool, but
yeah.
but Foggy really, and I love this. Foggy carries the whole a part of a whole show because it's why Daredevil is doing all this,
Mhm.
and it just means a lot. For when they weren't going to even have him in this show, I think the reshoots and the story changes are so much better that they
Yeah.
stuck with bringing them back again, and it works. It's such a great.
I was so excited to see them all together again.
Yep.
And
Me
then
Yeah,
they
too.
we all
kill
had that
him off.
correlation.
I'm like, what the hell? I wonder if they're gonna bring him back though, because nobody really dies in the MCU, right?
I think he's actually dead.
He's out.
And I feel bad for you guys because you grew up watching this show.
Oh yeah,
As when it comes to me, a newcomer to this show, just to build up the hype for this, because I love the freaking Daredevil show from Netflix, but I also love this show. And as like a newcomer, like I'm not really entirely connected to the character, but because I'm already so far ahead where Foggy did find out about Matt being dead, Daredevil, I actually did feel really bad. I actually did get a little bit emotional about him dying. I was like, oh God. And like
Yeah,
they
but
did that. And I wasn't expecting for them to do that. I really wasn't. And I feel like that's where the reshoots, that was the first 10 minutes is what we got of the reshoots. Before the reshoots happened and all that, I think those were the first 10 minutes of the original script. Because I do know that they were originally supposed to be in the show for a little bit longer. And he was going to be the lawyer, and then eventually we were going to get Daredevil at some point. I'm not 100% sure if that is the case, but I did feel really bad for them. And you can see all the hurt, especially within that courtroom. And when Karen came in, you had the heart beating, just racing, and she wasn't sure whether or not she wanted to be there. She moved to a whole nother state. She went to freaking California, out of all places. I don't know why you would ever move there. It's so freaking expensive out there. But I guess she made enough money under Matt.
Hey, if you're from New
Foggy.
York and you go to California, it's probably not that much of a difference in terms
Probably not, but
She's
I mean,
a
it's the
lawyer,
West
right?
Coast. It's probably like an extra $500 more on rent or whatever.
yeah, but it was sad to see the crumbling of that relationship too with Daredevil and her. Like it's like he's like, and I love like before he gets introduced to his new relationship, like how like every scene he's just in the dark, there's this light has been taken out of his life basically, and that's I
Yeah.
love, and it's
Yeah,
like
he's just a shell of himself.
and then he keeps the like if you know like and this is Sky, like Foggy is gone, he keeps the memorandum from his funeral even a year later. He
Yeah.
keeps it with him at all
It was
times.
even printed in braille, probably saying like "in loving memory" or something. I
Yeah,
don't know, but I was like, "That's really cool."
Yeah.
Well, I say cool. It's really sad.
I
Foggy
did
was
like
my
the song that
favorite
they
character.
played during that 1 year time skip that they did.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I thought like just that one part, like him looking and like this is where a lot of showing and not telling works so well.
Yes.
And I think that's why a lot of people love Daredevil, because it's a lot of showing and not directly telling at all. And also Daredevil is like the last, like shortly after Daredevil, it was like maybe 3 years later, we actually had good stories, and then that was it. But with that, and then you had the music in the background saying something about I don't I don't believe in an intervening God, meaning pretty much like this is Matt Murdock, this is Daredevil, and he no longer wants to intervene in this life that he's created with this character of himself. And so now we get that shell of Matt Murdock, only Matt, a whole year later, and we can tell bro's depressed. And I'm glad he's in a relationship. I feel really good for. I feel happy for the man and that he's in a relationship. I like the way that was set up, which was funny as all get out. And
yeah.
I'm loving.
He's gonna
I'm
die.
loving the show, and don't tell.
I already forgot her name, but she's gonna die, or she's gonna end up being like a
Well,
delayed
because
or something.
yeah, because the farm gets disbanded. Because of Foggy, and then Karen leaves. He goes and works with the Murdoch, and I'm just what's their? Oh,
I think it was Murdoch Firm or something.
I think
like
there's
that.
Murdoch didn't they start their own lawyer company at the end of like season 3, and Karen was part of it too.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like after that, after their practice with Foggy, Karen, and Matt, that disbands after his death, and then he goes and works for I think Kristen, and then that's when she sets him up on the date with his new relationship.
Yeah,
Because
the
therapist. Yeah. And she and then they meet. She gets him to meet at a coffee shop, and they meet, and they like each other. And then he says, "Yeah, just give her my number, just so I can tell her I'm sorry." And that was funny. But that's when you start to see more light come back into his life. And then Kingpin is like, "Oh, the police commissioner, but is planning to protest, and all the other cops are going to leave with him." And then, hey, sir, here's some blackmail of your kids and grandkids, all this. So you still want to do that? You still? Yeah, I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, he's like, I'm keeping this regime whether you like it or not. Okay.
Yeah.
But I also want to say something on this therapist, something that threw me off entirely, which I did not think, and I totally believe it's going to happen, and it's what Sky had said, that she is going to die. I don't think she's going to die, but it would be ironic if she does die at the very end, because she's the therapist for the Kingpin and his wife, Vanessa.
Yeah, they're keeping tabs on her.
Well, I mean, Kingpin's gonna find out that his therapist is dating his mortal enemy, and then he's gonna use that against him, Yeah. And that might be what breaks him entirely. Although I guess maybe he was officially broken at the end of episode 2 after he beat up those crooked cops. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. I think it's
I'm
definitely gonna build something up with it. It's not gonna just be like, oh hey, we're done. Like they're gonna fall in love. They might even get close to getting married or something, because I don't know how long this show is gonna take place. But and then Kingpin's gonna ruin it.
Yeah, I don't know with Daredevil. I mean, Buddy has that dog in him. Like if you read him from the comics, oh my gosh, he is with everybody in the comics. So honestly, I would be happy to see this guy get married because of the relationships I know he's going to be in Daredevil, the Netflix one. I would happy to see this guy kind of settle down and stuff and see where that goes.
Not until we get him in an Avengers movie. Then he can.
Yep. Which is in Doomsday in like a year from now.
I just, even if it's not an Avengers movie, I want to see him in a movie again.
Please,
or in
we need something.
The only movie he's ever been in was Spider-Man, right? And he wasn't even in costume. So does it count?
Yeah.
I
guess that was his retirement stage area.
He's halfway there to be there. But I just feel like what they've done so far is so good. But also, they've already set up the Punisher
Yeah, they
because
have.
Can't wait.
the crooked cops had the skull on their arm. There was a Punisher a skull
Yeah.
on their arm.
Oh, I
So-
didn't notice that.
That
So
was a
if
cool little detail. I noticed that.
yeah,
Too.
yeah, but
Man,
I mean-
you're gonna have to maybe watch these episodes again.
Have you watched The Punisher?
I have not watched The Punisher.
You got another show to watch too.
yeah, y'all watch
Another
the
one.
Defenders.
Man,
Series.
I gotta watch 3 shows in a month. You know what? I can do it. I got
No.
this.
But wait, the Defender saga. You look up how the Netflix shows came out because that's how you have to watch them. Because Punisher comes in to Daredevil, and Daredevil will come into Punisher. They intervene when they release the
That
shows.
sounded wrong.
Yeah, shush. Hey,
It's
Cyrus-
rewind time, okay?
Sorry.
It's
Run it
rewind
back.
I
time.
can't help myself.
That was funny. That was perfect time. I was hoping someone else would catch it, but I wasn't gonna say that.
hey, Punisher's coming back. Don't worry, no. I'm joking. But
I mean,
But yeah, I'm actually really excited to see the Punisher in this. I did get to watch a little bit of Punisher too. Not as much, probably 3-4 episodes of it. And I like his interactions with Daredevil. And I don't think he's really in anything else. I haven't seen Punisher in any other Marvel media besides in the comics. But I'm really excited to see him show up.
I'm just waiting for the day we get a rated R Punisher movie or show.
Which, funny enough, we're actually getting a special presentation next year with Punisher.
Yay.
Which
Yeah, I mean-
he even said, why not just add another 30 minutes to make a movie out of it?
yeah.
I'll take it.
They could legitimately do it.
Probably.
I mean, I take a 1 hour movie if just they do it.
Yeah.
1
But
hour
yeah.
movie, that's not long enough. Movies have to be at least 2 hours, right?
Well, I think the presentation, it's
Like an hour.
presentations are usually about 45 to 50 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we add an extra, so I know Werewolf by Night, that was 45 minutes. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, that was pretty much an hour. Assuming what they're doing with Punisher based off of this show leading into the special presentation, the special presentation is probably going to be about 45, 50 minutes. So, I mean, shoot, I'd be down with a 1 hour, 20 minute, 1 hour and 30 minute Punisher movie. I mean, that'd be freaking dope.
I mean,
to
it
go to
would
the
just
theaters.
be a build up for something in the future, right?
Yeah.
Could be.
They need to bring back that Punisher intro, Bo. That's one of the most amazing intros of any Marvel show. I love that intro. It's that and Daredevil are some of the best.
I want to ask a question in terms of cameos.
Yeah.
Who do you think we'll see in this show, if any? Besides the Punisher, because we know he's coming.
We're crossing out Spider-Man off rip because it's already been confirmed that he's not allowed to show up in any form of media with that. Oh no, the only thing that can happen is just a mention of Spider-Man, and that's it.
Hey,
Which is
check that off. They already did then.
Yeah.
I think they'll set up Spider-Man 4 because they did say that there is the rumor and the leaks what we've heard is that Daredevil will play a part with Spider-Man 4. So they might tease something, but we might not get a full on Tom Holland's there.
I guess Daredevil won't remember Spider-Man, huh? He'll be like, "Who are you again?" Because
yeah.
I think there was something in I think it was the 90s Spider-Man show where they had to get rid of Peter Parker. Everybody forgot Peter Parker, or they might have actually done this in the comics, but there was only 2 people that remembered Peter Parker, and it was Hulk and Daredevil in that comic book run. So maybe that could be, maybe they would. And I don't think Daredevil is going to show up in Spider-Man 4. They made it quite clear for the most part that's going to be a multiverse film. Sadly, or maybe Daredevil can make a cameo again like he did in No Way Home. Pretty much it's a No Way Home 2.0 from what it sounds like. I don't know. They're keeping everything under wraps, very tight shut on this next one. But shoot, for cameos,
they might not even know.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Okay,
Um,
part of me is very hopeful and wishful thinking. There's 3 characters I would like to see make a cameo appearance, maybe towards the end.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I really want to see. I really hate this because it's so cliche. I want to see Mahershala Ali Blade in this movie. I mean, in the show, at the very end.
Well, he's getting a show, right? So that would work.
He was supposed to have a movie, and it's never happened. I mean, it's something. Moon Knight. I would love to see Moon Knight and Daredevil interact.
That would be amazing.
It would be so awesome to have Oscar Isaac show up. I know they want to use Moon Knight going forward in the MCU. Why not throw him in there? Daredevil and Moon Knight have had plenty of interactions in the past.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, go on. What were you gonna say?
I think the most obvious one for me is the rest of the Defenders.
Yeah.
I think you could get Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, maybe Iron Fist to show up too. It just depends. Yeah. It just depends on if they want to do that or not. But that's the ones. That's the ones I think. Because Punisher was one of them too.
Yeah. Can you remind me what happened to Elektra? Did she actually die?
I think she died.
Okay, because I was like, she could make an appearance, but if she's dead, then I guess not. But
yeah,
maybe it's like a dream or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Shoot, there's one more character. Honestly, it wouldn't even make any sense, but for some reason, Hawkeye came to mind. I don't know why.
I mean, it would make kind of sense if they added all the characters that were interacted with Fisk recently. So, like, bring back, what was her name in Hawkeye? The new Hawkeye lady?
Kate Bishop?
Yeah, Kate. And they could potentially bring back Echo, or just for a cameo, because, like, these people might still have beef with Fisk, too, right? I don't know.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. The Defenders is obviously a no-brainer. I'd be surprised if they do that, in my opinion, because
they bring them back.
Yeah, they're probably gonna bring them back. Honestly, I watched a little bit of Luke Cage, and I could not get into that show to save my life.
Really,
Iron Fist. I tried watching it. I couldn't watch it.
What about Iron Fist? I personally liked that. Going back now, I don't, but I liked it when I first watched it. I'm not a huge fan anymore, but
Iron Fist got.
And Jessica Jones, I never watched the show. I've seen her in cameos in Daredevil because of clips and stuff online. That's it.
Decent show too. I liked it.
Yeah, Iron Fist got hated on more than it should have, in my opinion, because. I agree with that, because it's like it was a lot better. It was better than most people think, and there were more things to it, I think. But I liked Iron Fist.
The ending of season 2 was rough, or was it season 1? I think it was 2. But I liked all the shows. Then the Defenders show was a little weak sauce, but it was still kind of cool to be like, hey, here's all the characters together. But it'd be cool to get them back. And I can't remember the name of that character, but Rosario Dawson playing that character. She might make a cameo. Yeah, the Doctor. She might make a cameo because she was in every single one of those shows and the Defenders.
Yeah, so and she's just right next door to Lucasfilm. I mean, she's just right there.
Yeah,
she can easily swap in.
She had a big part with the Defenders. All the characters in the Defenders. You know, she was like a staple, like a guarantee. Like, hey, this character's in every one of these shows. So
I mean, there's a possible chance that we could get something from the Avengers in terms of cameos. I could see the Doctor coming in.
That's what I think.
Yeah, but I mean, we kind of got a Defender crew. We got Daredevil, we got Punisher, we got White Tiger, which, not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that to be the suit, in my opinion.
I thought White Tiger was a girl. That just goes to show I know nothing about White Tiger.
Oh, there's multiple White Tigers.
Okay.
White Tiger is the daughter of that guy, which I guess they'll use later on.
No, they'll have to. They'll have to set up something either at the end of this or in season 2. Because unfortunately, the guy that plays White Tiger passed away before the show came out. So That's why
Okay,
they
yeah, so
put,
they're gonna have to use this dye.
that's why they put that's why they put in memory of and
I didn't know who that was. I just was like,
That
well,
was-
that's sad, but
that's White Tiger. So
So mean.
he
But,
passed he passed before the show came out.
yeah.
So
Maybe that's the Jenna Ortega rumor that I've been hearing about lately.
maybe.
But yeah, I mean, I like White Tiger as a character. Pretty much that character
Yeah.
is Black Panther of, I think it's South America. I hope I'm right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But essentially he doesn't have all the powers, which doesn't make any sense because I know the suit of White Tiger is pretty much the Black Panther suit, but it doesn't have the kinetic energy. And I know it's just a plain costume, but I think there was some sort of strength or something in the comics.
Yeah, it's like the amulet that they keep saying. But he was like,
I showed the ambulance, like
Yeah.
necklace thing, whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty cool. Seeing White Tiger. I grew up with the daughter version of the character.
yeah,
With Ultimate
I
Spider-Man,
never would have,
sadly.
in my wildest dreams, guessed that, hey, White Tiger will be cameoed and referenced in this show. Like,
Yeah.
out of all the characters, like, I figured that would be like,
Well, it's actually looking like he is not like a cameo. He's going to be a big part of it. So I can't wait to see that. Oh, well, that could be interesting. There could be Daredevil and Tiger versus Fisk. That could be the end right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm
'Cause
also thinking Punisher's going to play along with it.
Mhm.
That's why I kind of mentioned them all three kind of together, because I think the finale is going to have all three of them coming together to take down Fisk, because you can't bring Spider-Man in. Sadly, I really wanted to see Spider-Man in this show so bad.
yeah,
Because
I wish Sony would just sell the rights so they could actually use Spider-Man.
yeah, but yeah, all in all, I'm excited with the show. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it's going to do, being the fact that they killed one of the main leads in the first 10 minutes. And they've already introduced White Tiger. Punisher is coming around the corner. And the ending of episode 2 was actually really nice.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, but there's one more thing, though, that there's one more thing we didn't cover. And it's the like the popularity of Fisk through the like the podcaster, like BB Ulrich, the reporter. That's also a big part coming in for this show, because they're showing, because of what she's filming, showing how Fisk rose to power by by doing things, or like faking his, like putting a mask on basically, and like doing his mayor stuff to make him look good. But in actuality, he's still this cutthroat, ruthless businessman / mobster, and he's going to get anything done. Doesn't matter what he has to do. So, I mean, that's another part of it as well.
They're going to bait her, too, into something, because they kind of hinted at that.
They did.
I can't remember what that character was. The reporter person.
She had like a little interview with him.
Yeah, she asked. That's how we got introduced to the commissioner. Did not want to. He wanted to retire, and all his men leave with him. That she brought that to him, and then that's when he went after the commissioner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then he's like, "No, you're staying, and your men will too." So yeah, that's why when he blackmailed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, getting to see that whole part. That's why I say that
it shows
whoever is
his true
directing
color.
this show loves film and cinematography, and they do a wonderful job.
Yeah,
yeah. They and also how like episode 1. I get why they released these two together though, that because the storylines weave so well together into 1, into 2, that it makes such a good just continuation. It's just perfect, and I'm excited for 3. They left a lot to be excited for, because Matt just beat the crap out of those guys at the end, and then he yelled like he's back in that Daredevil mode.
Yep, he snapped. We are definitely going to see him in the next episode or 2, for sure. We're going to see Daredevil back in that suit, for sure.
Well, I would hope so. The show's called Daredevil, after all.
Yeah, it's not called Matt Murdock, attorney at law.
But I like Matt Murdock, attorney at law, more than She-Hulk. All right.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah.
But, yeah.
I think the whole premise of him becoming mayor, I think it suits him perfectly, and I like how he runs.
Oh yeah.
It's still the mobster type mentality, but it's for the people. It's literally not for him and his gang and keeping all these other gangs in line and in check, but it's now the people of New York and wanting to actually take care of him. And that's why I like what they're doing with Kingpin right now. They deconstruct the character so much to where now we're eventually just like Matt Murdock becoming Daredevil again. We're going to see Kingpin come back fully. Buddy is definitely going to snap. I feel like Vanessa's got to do something, or one day he just has so much and he just snaps and kills somebody.
Yeah. Part of him being mayor, though, does benefit him is the anti-vigilante movement. Yeah. Because, Daredevil, he wants to keep him off the streets. So, that benefits him.
Yeah, which I did like their interaction in the diner. I thought that was really cool. And I always felt like one of these guys were going to punch each other for no reason at all. Like, that scene seemed a little intense. I thought for sure someone was going to throw a punch. But it was really cool interaction. It was like, it's like that one kid from school that you hated, but you also looked up to in a weird way, and you couldn't relate to.
Yes.
And you're like, "Hey, man, how's it going? Oh, by the way, I so hate your guts for trying to kill me, but I respect you and trying to be a new person."
They're frenemies. We established that.
Yes, they're frenemies. So yeah,
they've got the best. They've got the best broship. It's all right. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I love that little interaction with them, and it sets the whole tone with their relationship. It definitely shows that these two, just like with the Daredevil, it literally is a follow-up to that show. It's definitely season 4. The chemistry with these characters are still there. It's still the same vibe, but now it's in the MCU. We have the mentioning of Skrulls. We have the mentioning. It's fully in the MCU. We haven't mentioned of freaking Spider-Man. I haven't mentioned the blip yet, so I'm kind of curious on what that's going to be. If it is going to get mentioned, I think it's been long enough. I don't think we need to mention it.
Yeah, they've been slowly fading out of the whole blip thing, just like they never talk about the Shatari attack anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that, the last thing I can say about this, because we've maybe covered like almost everything, it's so good to finally have another Marvel project that's actually exciting. I want to watch. This show is the exact same feelings me and Skyrim had about Skeleton Crew every week when it came out. We wanted more. This is the same thing with Daredevil. Like,
it's refreshing to watch another episode.
I know. It's so good.
Which I did actually get the chance to watch Skeleton Crew, and I did like it.
Yeah.
It was definitely the 90s kid vibes, the 80s, and all that stuff with the Goonies. I definitely saw that. I definitely saw Indiana Jones in there. And I liked how they went to space. And even at the very end, where they started actually connecting it to the broader universe and how this society has been locked away from everything. I know this is a Daredevil review, but I'm just going to throw my thoughts out of the show. I like Skeleton Crew, but it definitely did not leave the impact that it needed. I definitely think when it comes to because Marvel is starting to come back. They're starting to come back, and we see that. Sadly, Captain America: Brave New World did not hit that mark. I do want to go see the movie, but I don't think I'm going to waste my money for that, so I'm just going to wait for streaming.
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, I heard it was okay, but the villains sucked and all this other stuff. But Marvel is starting to
wasted the villains.
Marvel is starting to come back. We've noticed that with Deadpool and Wolverine. We've noticed that with a couple past Marvel projects besides What If, the Disney Plus MCU knockoff Spider-Man show that apparently everybody likes now. Agatha all along.
Agatha wasn't horrible. It wasn't good.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. But I think now Marvel's starting to come back. I'm really hoping. One thing I am hoping about this show is that somehow in some way, Oh, the chick from the lady that meets U.S. Agent and Yelena. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Val.
Val.
Yes.
That was the third cameo. That was the chick. That was the third one that I was thinking of. Val. I do hope in some way, shape, or form this does connect to Thunderbolts, because something that Marvel has been struggling with lately a lot is the connectivity.
connecting. Yeah.
Brave New World tried that, but it was Captain America connecting all loose ends into one. That's what I heard, pretty much of it. But
Anything's better than Quantumania, though.
definitely. But yeah, I really hope there's something there. I hope we start to get that connectiveness again, and we really start to go back to what Marvel used to really be and how it was. Because with Disney, like Disney Plus, we've talked about it. It's flopped entirely for the most part, besides a couple projects here and there, maybe a couple episodes of shows. But when it comes to the movies, there's been maybe 5 good movies. Like, there's some movies that I've actually regretted on buying my ticket. Thor: Love and Thunder, I regretted buying my freaking ticket for that movie.
Yeah.
Quantumania, I regretted buying. Wakanda Forever. I kid you not. I did not want to go see that movie. But it was good. I liked Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
No Way Home. I'm so thankful to buy that ticket. Internals, loved it, in my opinion. And Shang-Chi, loved it. Black Widow, obviously that was COVID, so nobody was out in theaters. And Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. But besides that, this past couple Marvel movies, like I didn't even go watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I wasn't gonna waste my money.
That was good. That was
And that was
That one was a
Yeah.
good one. So far, out of a couple projects, I think like 6 movies have been good, and Deadpool and Wolverine. So 7 good Marvel movies. I'm going to go with 3 good shows. Obviously, Daredevil starting off at the number 1, followed up by WandaVision, and then Loki.
Yeah. That's their best. It's so...
Yeah. So 10 projects out of like 20? 23?
Hey, that's half.
I mean, it's half. Something.
Half's not good enough, though. Every project should be this amazing, to be
It
honest.
should be really good.
The
But I think
MCU
Marvel's
was on
starting to
their-
get their footing back.
They
for sure.
were on like their high horse for the longest time, and every time they would upload, that's YouTube terminology, release a film or anything, it was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it, with the Infinity Saga. And then it just died.
Yeah.
I think they got too ambitious, and their CGI started getting really terrible.
Yeah, and they had to compete with the streaming wars as well, which I really hated that. There were some movies that should have been shows. Eternals should have been a show, in my opinion. There was so much with those characters. I like those characters. They were definitely one-noted, obviously. The script could have been better, but there was so much. And all the time jumps and everything, like that should have been a show all on its own.
I think Eternals suffered from the writer too, or the director as well, writing and directing, because honestly, some of these people, I'm gonna be honest, they were not the especially the director is not one that was ready for a Marvel movie, a big budget Marvel. She had only done like independent small films, and that really did hurt Eternals, because it didn't feel as, even though the ending was like big, it didn't feel big at all, because they ignored it up until Brave New World, where the only thing is the Celestial is how they get adamantium into the universe. So Wolverine, there you go, everybody.
Honestly,
And a couple
The
of other
Eternals
characters.
was a good, forgettable movie. I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember what happened.
It was all right, yeah, but you forget it after. I remember what happened.
I completely forgot about the Celestial thing happening until I saw Brave New World. I was like, oh yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't that movie come out like
2021? It came out like the same year as No Way Home. But we did.
As well.
So I was like, it's been a while, and they're only just now getting back to that, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, this is how you go back to the past and bring it back and like do it good. Like, yeah, Daredevil hasn't been on in a few years, but this is how you bring a show back. It's good. The storytelling's well, even though it connects things from shows that some people were just like they're bad or eh. It connects them in a way to where you understand it enough, and you're like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go. It's like
It's a
it
labor of love.
works.
That's
It's
for sure.
it's a letter of love to the not just Daredevil, to the Netflix era.
Hmm.
And also my favorite thing about this is, of course, Daredevil is known. If everyone's watched the show, of course they have. If you're watching this, the violence was great. They needed that back. They threw
even
him off.
said the F word.
But I'm just saying,
and that's the only cuss word that was played in the entire show, which I was shocked about that. That was the only cuss word within 2 episodes.
If you're gonna curse, I guess go all out and say the big one, right?
Yeah, you might as well go out and say the big one. But I was actually excited because I was like, shoot, my little brother who's like 11 could watch this show. And then I heard it, I was like, nah, he's the worst.
It's just a word, right? I don't know.
But
I mean, yeah, the violence, though, I think the violence too, like that's what Daredevil is. He's a violent character. Like
It
this
could
man.
be worse. I'm a boys fan, so to me, I'm like, where's the blood? Where's the gore? Where's the ripping their arms off and stuff? But I'm like,
Well, he's
okay.
not going to do that. But
I mean, but I did like the attention to detail when he broke the guy's arm, and like you see like
oh yeah, it
a little bit of
stretches.
blood come through, like his
and the
shirt.
bone's kind of sticking out more.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I like that. So one of my favorite details in the entire show, though, was actually when he was cooking in the dark. I'm like, yeah, I guess he doesn't need to turn the lights on. You know?
But that's all. But that's what the scene I was talking about. Like he has all the lights off, and then like the only light in the room is the screen with Fisk on it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that electric bill was definitely like $100 for sure.
But I remember, I just thought that was a cool, like, little scene.
Yeah, but well, as you see from us all here, we're excited for episode 3.
Yeah.
And,
For sure.
I think it's 3 and 4 next week. I think they're doing another 2-parter, maybe.
I don't think that's until like a few weeks. I think like every like 4 weeks or something we'll get, or 3 weeks we'll get 2 episodes, because the show's gonna go until April.
Yeah, it's 4 weeks, so definitely probably 2 episodes maybe per month.
There's 9 or is it 9 or 10 episodes in total?
9 episodes. So I think the last week they're going to drop 3 episodes, which that is going to be one amazing arc.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say positive about this show is I really liked how the length of each episode was. The first one was an hour, and the second one was like, what, 50 minutes? So almost an hour. That is really nice, because I hate when we get these shows and it's like, here's a 30-minute episode. Like the Book of Boba Fett, for an example, suffered with that. Each episode is only like 30 minutes. So it's like you wait a week for 30 minutes. It's like, come on. So I'm like, if every episode is around an hour, that's going to make this show just even better, you know?
Yeah. And I'll definitely follow up. I think that's probably going to be the last thing I mentioned. I do like the length. It allows you to, for like people who haven't watched Daredevil at all, this is like the first introduction. So you really want to connect to these characters and get to know them on a personal level. That's why I was shocked with the first intro being 10 minutes long, and then you get the intro opening scene. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then the 40 minutes of just exposition and the world building that they're doing. I think it's definitely going to help a lot for the show to grow. And I'll definitely agree. Book of Boba Fett suffered with that. There's been so many shows that have suffered with a 30-minute runtime, but you only have 8 to 12 episodes of a story. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That really is nothing. Nothing to grow with the character. Like, there's no reason. Like, Boba Fett, I should have cared about that character so much. I didn't.
Yes.
Agatha, for sure.
Yeah.
I still didn't care for Agatha. I don't, for the character, I didn't care much. But I like
it was good, but forgettable. You know?
Yeah. And they're going back to Mandalorian runtime where it's like 40 to like 50 minutes, which is awesome. An hour, I think, is perfect amount of time for bringing Daredevil back into the light again for a lot of people.
I feel like, in my personal opinion, a show, every episode has to be at least 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Or
If you're going to do a short episode runtime, for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're doing like 20 episodes like it used to be back in the day, then yeah, 20 to 30 minutes, totally acceptable.
But back to Daredevil, what would you guys rate both episodes? Like 1 out of 10.
Ace.
Or not 1 out of 10.
I'm going to go ahead and do a 10 out of 10 across the board. I love this show so much. I love the dialogue. I love the cinematography, the action. I don't care about the CGI. I don't really care. You give me some good story, a good dialogue, and good action sequences, and you give me a character I can actually connect with, I'm down for it. That's one of the reasons why I like The Boys a bit. I like Invincible. I like a lot of C-level movies. Not too great, but just the right amount of characters to care about. I love this show. I love how Daredevil gets to be in the like he is at the comics and animated shows. Like he's freaking Batman in New York. It's awesome. I love it. And I love the suit. Oh my God, that freaking suit is amazing. But
It's nice.
I'm top notch to the director of this entire show. I think they did a phenomenal job, and I can't wait for more episodes.
Yep.
Sky, what do you think?
Well, I'm always a little bit more of a critic than other people. I'm going to give each episode an 8 out of 10. But 8's still a good number, don't get me wrong. I just, every now and again, the green screens and the CGI looked a little rough to me.
Yeah.
But I agree. The story so far, fantastic. The characters, fantastic. The words are hard. Cinematography, very beautiful. A lot of great shots, and the music, fantastic. Like, you gotta give them props to all that stuff. But there's just a few rough edges and stuff around with like the CGI. But I still think so far the show's amazing. But I'm only gonna give each episode an 8 out of 10 because I don't think anything's perfect, you know.
Yeah.
But 8, that's still really good because Marvel's been kind of in the toilet lately. So
Yeah.
and you'll probably say 10 out of 10. But what do you think, Bounty?
I mean, the thing is, to me, with a show, if there's nothing I have to complain about, like I have no complaints with Daredevil Born Again. I have nothing. I even thought most of it looked great. I didn't really have a problem with CGI. I didn't really notice anything bad. I have to agree with Ace. I think these two right now, like, this is a perfect opener to a show. I have to do a 10. There's nothing to complain about. Like, I think this was an absolutely perfect premiere. And if it sticks the landing to the end, like, we get more consistent good episodes, and this is gonna be great. That's all I can say. Right now I have nothing to complain about. It's all, the story was great. The way they weave different things together was perfect. It's the perfect way to start and they better finish good as well. All right, so that's
as long as they don't waste Fisk, you know.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah.
They're even the description of the show on Disney Plus says, Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk like struggle, like, if you like, show with the new dynamics of things. So it's about them.
Yeah.
It's about Daredevil and Fisk, or the Kingpin. So I'm excited. All right, is anything else? Is that it for you?
Potatoes are cool.
Potatoes, all right. Potatoes are cool. Ace?
I guess we're gonna end it off with potatoes. I guess. I mean, Sky's got the word potatoes. So.
Potato. Potato Man. When's Potato Man coming?
Definitely no Potato Man. I'm sorry. I think you need to talk to the Invincible writers for that. I'm sure they can make you a Potato Man.
That'd be pretty epic. Invincible Potato. Hey, if they do more multiverse things, we could get a world where everybody's made of potatoes.
All right, everybody. Well, we'll be back next week to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight for more Daredevil Born Again. We will see you all next time.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And follow us on social media and go subscribe to our channels for more content.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Have
Bye.
a great rest of your day, night, whatever. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.